And good afternoon. Welcome to the KYC APM show. Did you miss me from this morning? Well, here I am again, but this time I've got friends. And not just you folks out there, people in the studio too. So thanks for tuning in on to 1490 and 103.5 FM. It is the panel of all knowledge, the Mulligan Group. It is our pre-election special here on KYCA, and I want to thank all of you for joining us. Of course, we are out on the big wide world, on the World Wide Web, live on Facebook, I believe. Are we? We are. Oh, my gosh, it works.
Are we on the interweb?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
The interweb.
The www machine.
I mean, look at this. I'm watching myself right now.
That's
Dang, I'm handsome. I can tell you that. I'm handsome for radio. We'll put it that way.
Your mirror is broken, Jason.
I know. That's why I got to look at this. Okay, 928-541-1016. Not that you really want to get involved in this conversation because it's going to be a doozy today, folks. Let's go around the room and introduce everybody before you forget their names and to fill out your scorecards at home. To my left, of course, is Bob Roecker, the Bob Show, and you're up next week on Election Day.
I am, and we're going to have an update on the election first thing, but we're also going to have some folks called People Who Care, which is a group in the city. Yeah. They've been here since 1992. We're going to have Dan Keeley, who's the current president, and Jane Harrison, who's the executive director, and we're going to tell everybody about what they do and what their what People Who Care is all about. Great organization.
Great group.
Not done.
Yes.
In September, we're going to have Ken Campbell from Gunsight coming into the Bob
fantastic.
Show. In October, we're going to have Amy Bonney, Chief of Police for the city of Prescott, coming into the Bob Show. Yep. And maybe Big John Brambilla will come with her. I don't know yet.
Oh, that'd be great.
So we've got a big lineup for you for the next 3 months on the Bob Show.
I did talk to John Brambilla just this week, mostly concerning about the school, the fact that school opens on Thursday and don't do this, don't do that. But also John is one of the leaders in terms of spending the 478 money for the police department. They're moving straight ahead with the evidence room. They're already working on personnel. It sounds like it's going really great over there in the police station. So we're really happy to hear that so far. So looking forward to seeing what Amy says and what John says. And
it'll be interesting.
It'll be great.
Yep.
Okay, across from me, across the table, well, Malcolm. And Malcolm in the morning, Malcolm Barrett Jr. Thank you for joining us again today, sir.
Thank you.
That's the only sir you're ever going to get out of me.
Okay. Well, this coming Thursday, I have a longtime Prescott rancher. And if you would ask him, he is a rancher first, but also our past state Senate president, Steve Pierce.
Steve is always interesting.
He's always welcome.
And you betcha.
And I'm so glad he's actually going to be in studio.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is fantastic. I'll be sure to stop by, shake his hand, say hello, because he is always welcome here.
You bet.
All right. Well, Steve, we're looking forward to it. We know you're listening and keeping score at home, too. So that's a plus 10 for Malcolm on that. You can put that down. He's in the lead.
Thank you very much. I'm out.
Oh, you're out. Well, that's good. If I knew that was going to take to get rid of him, I would have done that a lot. Anyway, and catty-cornered for me, of course, is the Dean of the Morning Coffee Group, reestablished back where we should have been in the first place.
In the now reopened
Cowboy
store
Kitchen.
and Cowboy Kitchen. Site of the former Lone Spur restaurant.
And they have a great menu.
It's outstanding.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is, and the people have rediscovered it for breakfast. It fills up by about 8:30 every day.
That's fantastic.
And it's really good.
And so thank you, Phil King, across from
Phil
you.
King.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Dean of the Morning Coffee Group, which is getting bigger too. That's always a good thing to see.
It's always great.
Yeah, it always is.
More input, more things we get to talk about, the more we know what's going on around town. We even get to hear all the rumors.
Wait a minute, we had Sandy Griffiths check in with us
did.
this morning.
Fantastic.
Sandy
she
Griffiths
did.
was having a meeting, and she checked in with us.
Fantastic. Always good to see her too.
Yeah, it was.
Man, oh man. Okay, I tell you what, it's the who's who downtown in the morning. So, okay, and here we are in the afternoon, 928-541-1016.
If you're not watching the Diamondbacks lose to Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Detroit's in first place. I mean, come on.
Had 2 shutouts in a row, didn't they? Diamondbacks.
They managed to score 2 runs in 38 innings.
Ooh. Well, folks, I'm going to give you a little bit of a good news thing then. And this is a shameless plug, by the way. The NFL begins Thursday night, as the Detroit Lions take on the LA Chargers at Canton, Ohio at the Hall of Fame game. We're looking forward to that. Broadcasting that on KNOT, the team, 1450 AM. Yes, NFL football in July. And I believe if you take a look at the NFL schedule, which we will be broadcasting a great deal of it on KNOT this year, they are going to have a game in Dublin, Ireland. They're going to have a game, I believe, in Berlin. And I believe they've always got 3 or 4 games in London. I think they're going
Mexico City.
At Mexico City.
Yeah.
I think Brazil this year, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for a home game in the United States, for somebody.
Gotta wait till September, I guess.
I guess so.
really.
But anyway, so that's getting started. And of course, we're going to have a ton of college football and all the rest of that good stuff.
Well, the Badgers are coming up.
The Prescott Badgers are going to be on KYCA starting August 30th. Yeah. We're looking forward to that one. It's going to be fun.
105 degrees down in
Greenway High School.
Yeah.
It's conflicting with the Texas-Ohio State game.
Nobody cares about that one, Malcolm. Come on. It's the Badgers.
Okay.
The Badgers. Okay. All right. Very quickly, of course, we are 1 week away from the election. If you have not turned in your ballot, as I said this morning, educate yourself quickly and turn your ballot in, okay? Malcolm, I think you talked to Michelle Burchell.
Michelle Burchell texted me early this morning. She said they've just over 9,000 ballots received, so far at 25% turnout.
What is going on?
Which is dismal.
Really bad. What's going on? Does anybody have any?
The nature of the campaigns, it all seems rather irrelevant to a lot of folks.
Now, had this been Phoenix averages in their city elections a total turnout of 17%.
Yeah.
We're generally over 50%, but at 25% at this point, it's going to be low. We're not going to break 50% this year.
And that's part of what's been happening over the last 15 years or so, is that the people are feeling, the citizens, residents of the town are feeling themselves somewhat estranged from City Hall.
Well, here comes
they don't feel they have the influence.
Here comes the question:
who
does that favor, Malcolm?
It favors the special interests because the special interests turn out, and when the rest of the population does not, we are subject to the wishes of these special interest groups.
And they're well organized. It's become, that one particular one has become a de facto political party here in town, and they're in league with the other organizations. So.
And
is 484 going to pass? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go right ahead and ask the questions. I'm going to take a break here and be back at 4:30. Go ahead, Bob. No. Proposition 484.
Yeah,
was that the one? Was that the one with the
charter amendment for
open space?
Open space,
yes.
correct.
482 is home rule,
which needs to pass.
And that should pass.
It should pass.
Yeah, has to pass.
484 is not beneficial to the future of this city
at all.
Now, don't you find it interesting that
it'll pass.
the people who lobbied the council to get them to buy open space, and they do it, immediately say, well, we no longer trust you to actually manage it properly, so we're going to take that responsibility away from you? Doesn't that seem a little odd to anybody?
I wouldn't say that they don't necessarily trust this council. They just don't trust future councils.
Well that's go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, the point being, we elect people to make these decisions, and then we take it away from them, and that's just the technique that special interest groups use.
Well, they seem to say, well, we're going to make every decision up to the vote of the people.
Yeah, well, they want. There is an organization, there is a mindset that wants that. Somebody that doesn't even live in town, I believe, wanted the hotel on Whiskey Row put to a vote of the public.
Right.
But what 484 really says is nobody before this current council and nobody who will ever serve again is as smart and good as we are.
Well, it just stops the whole process. You can't work that way.
You can't even put a city pipeline through the open space, so you'll have to buy easements from somebody else.
And no more annexation unless it's for open space. Yeah. Let's take everything off the tax rolls.
Are they going to allow people to go out
the
and
tax
cut the
load
weeds?
And the tax burden
what about fire suppression?
on the existing residents?
Are they going to allow any of that? Are they? Will it be okay to maintain the open space?
At what cost? The city going to mow the weeds?
I don't know how it's going to work. Makes no sense to put it in a charter.
And you get some
Bless you.
business in town wants to do avionics for Embry-Riddle or something, and can't put their plant at the airport because it's open space.
I don't know.
It just
It's short-sighted in the extreme.
That's right.
50 years from now, 20 years from now, you don't know what opportunities are going to be there. You don't know what needs are going to be there.
I guess the question is, at what level will you trust the people that you elect to public office to do their jobs? Where is that with some of these folks? You stick it in a charter, it's a technique to avoid progress, in my opinion. You have to go to the vote of the public, which is that's why we put these people on the council. I don't understand why they get like that. It just doesn't make any sense. And all of us have been there.
Oh yeah.
You take that job to heart. You work hard at it. So I don't understand why they can't trust the people that they put in those offices to do the job.
We elect, at least I choose those folks that I tend to vote for, because in my opinion, they have the ability to make a well-informed decision.
Bingo.
So I don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem is we've had several over the last 6 years or so that are more ideologically driven than they are issue driven, and they've looked at things. They've diverted funds. They've got us into budget problems that needed to be fixed by a tax increase. I love paying 10% every time I buy something.
Well,
in the
there
store.
are only two ways for cities in Arizona to handle the expanding demand for services. And that's either, number one, create more opportunities to collect more revenues, or number two, increase the tax burden on the existing residents.
That's it.
Those are the only two ways. And when you shut down economic development and opportunities to collect retail sales taxes, you have no other choice but to increase costs for those who already live here.
Chased off the hotel out by the mall, chased off other businesses that tried to have proposals here in town. You're really cutting off your nose to spite your face. And 5 years from now, that's going to get real expensive around here for
I'm gonna address that, but first we have to take a break here on KYCA. 928-541-1016. Panel of all knowledge. If you think you know something that we don't, well, good luck getting through. We'll see. All right, we'll talk to you later. Take a break after this. Okay, hey, we're back here on the KYCA PM show, 928-541-1016 if you dare. I wouldn't personally, but that's just me. Bob Roecker, Malcolm Barrett Jr., Phil King here with Jason Zinzilieta. That's me. And we're missing Tom Reilly. Tom, thank you very much for not being here during the most important time of the year. But you know what? Let me tell you, it's always important. It is, you know what? There's never not a time that something is not happening. That
it's so
with
true,
Prescott
yeah.
or whatever these days, it just seems like, I don't know about you guys when you were on council, but there must have been at least a few times that you could go into a meeting and say, okay, it's kind of quiet. That's
we
not
had
too
some
bad.
short ones, and we had some 4-hour ones.
We had some very hey, I do have an update.
Okay, tell me, please.
Okay, and the number you had expressed, I don't know when you got that, but
That was this morning. That was this
as
morning.
of close of business
Okay.
today, 9,553 total votes are in.
Okay.
Okay, so that's roughly on turnouts. You've got
It's less than 30.
well, of that, 5,079 were Republican ballots, even though it's nonpartisan.
Right.
But they know what the registration is. 2,219 Democrat, and independents are 21% independents,
That
which
kind
is
of follows
basically
the registration.
it follows the registration total. So the turnout across the party is about the same.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
It's an indicative of the population.
It
Okay.
is. It's a regular breakdown, but it's still a very low turnout
Yeah, it
at
is.
this point.
Right.
Especially with the ramifications that we're looking at of this particular election.
Correct. I mean, there is quite a bit at stake, and of course, whatever you elect is there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously, as you said, the wisdom of the council in turning over every 2 years the majority is a good thing. It definitely
We
is.
elect
thing.
four. We elect a mayor and 3 councilmen
Yep.
every 2 years.
2 years.
It's a
Yeah.
very,
So that's
very,
the
very
majority
good thing.
every
It
2
was
years.
very wise
Yes, it was.
of the town fathers.
Yes.
And again, speaking of the town, I did happen to glance. We are located near Sheldon Street, by the way, and I did manage to glance over the barricades this afternoon, and I noticed they're laying down pavement.
Oh, good.
And so hopefully
It's-
Sheldon will be open soon.
Yeah, you mean the ductile iron water main that failed?
Yes, that's well. You can't see it now.
Oh,
You know,
right.
so that's a good thing.
Yes.
I really got a laugh out of what that one wag wrote a blog on the website and said, well, the water mains fail, the streets collapse, but at least we have money for open space.
Thank goodness.
I had to chuckle.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a silver lining, right? You know. Yeah, so we look at this, and of course, we've got work to do out on Highway 89, and I keep hearing some people are saying yes to widening, no to widening. We had Joe Baines in here a couple weeks ago, and he was describing the blasting process, and it's not really blasting, it's just a little scaling, and it's nothing like it used to be. He told me back in the early 20s, when they put the road in, you could look an eighth of a mile, a quarter of a mile away, and he could show you rocks that had ended up there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
that's not what happens now.
Yeah, that seems to be something everybody overlooks. How did they think the rail bed got in there?
Yeah,
How did
exactly.
they
Exactly.
think
The
the highway got through? You
And
know?
the rail bed in the highway is the only reason most people can even access and see the
Yeah.
dells.
And
And what they're talking about is less than 2% of the dells. And once it's finished, you won't even notice anything
won't
had
know
been
the
done.
difference.
You're going to look up on both sides and see the majestic rocks, and you're not even going to know what was there.
Where is that decision? What point is that decision?
Well, they're having study sessions right now. I don't think we're any closer to a decision at this point. I think there's going to be some more study sessions coming up.
That depends on the majority of the council whether they'll take a look at it or not. You've got one of the candidates now criticizing one of the other candidates because that other one wants to go ahead with the widening, and the candidate doing the criticism says how expensive and wasteful that would be.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I mean,
you've got to do some research on your candidates,
they're
folks,
not.
by the way.
They're not looking past today.
Right. And again, it's a can-kicking exercise.
Yeah.
You've got to widen the... Well, let's face it. The road is going to be torn up to get rid of the effluent line and put some new lines in and make sure it doesn't break every 6 months to a year, you know. And it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes on. it's got to be replaced. You've got to, you might as well widen it while you're there.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering also, one of the things that we have heard about is a potential evacuation route in the event that we have a wildfire. What's going to happen when you open up Highway 89 in 2 lanes in both directions, and you still need to be able to get some of the new firefighters down from North Prescott?
We've already seen an example of what happens when that road is shut down. And the diversion and the detours. And if we had a local emergency, we are going to be in big trouble.
And
no sundown connector. Can't get out that way.
Oh, no. No sundown.
No,
By not
never
building
build
new
that.
roads, we won't allow more growth.
The only thing you could
That's
do.
what it's all about.
Look at Tucson.
Yeah.
Tucson, have you spent any time trying to get through North Tucson?
No, can't. No.
It's construction everywhere
the road
you
goes
go.
around the city, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's
You could
build
do
it, and they don't build it, and they won't come. Does not work.
The Indian fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had trouble
In
back
2002.
Had had
2002.
the wind not died down
That's
at
right.
sundown,
You're right.
we'd
Absolutely.
have lost everything down along Copper Basin
Absolutely.
and into town.
And had not there been an air
and you couldn't
tanker,
get anybody out of town. And yes, that last airdrop.
the air tanker coming back from another fire, and it still had its load, saw the fire.
And hit
And
it.
we had tankers and air assets on that fire in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You could do what Louisville does on Derby Day. And all the cars in the morning go into the Derby, and in the afternoon all the cars come out of the Derby, and they block everything off.
It's
You'd
one
have to
way, both
one-way
ways.
everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah,
That'd be the only thing you
would,
really
still
could do.
couldn't get them out.
Nobody
of there.
gets to come in. You got to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And yeah, could we do it? I don't know. I think
don't
that's
know.
a very good question of Chief Durrer right now. I can tell you that
Yeah,
because he certainly has.
And
all the numbers.
admittedly, that's a worst case scenario kind of thing. But good city planning looks at
Well, none
worst
of
case
those-
scenarios,
well,
and what do
none-
you do?
None of those entities stepped up about the sundown connector. I didn't hear any of them say, "Hey, we got to have this."
Yeah.
So
Those houses in the north side of Yavapai Hills in there
they're stuck.
can't.
They
You
have
know,
one- they have one
you're,
direction
Yeah,
out.
you're 3 miles.
One direction
You're
out.
3 miles out to 69 when you can stand on your front porch and look at
the highway.
89.
But at least they have lousy cell phone coverage, too.
There is that, yes. Can't have those ugly cell phone towers next to the ugly water tanks and the ugly other cell phone towers.
Okay, kids.
Short-sighted.
we gotta-
Short-sighted.
Well, yes, there's a lot of that. And you know what? I'm not sure that you don't see that in almost every community in one way or
Oh,
another.
you do.
You do, but you know what? It's infuriating. I
From
know.
time to
it's
time, and you're
infuriating.
back to we get an election every 2 years, and we have corrected mistakes in the past.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. The election, by the way, is 1 week away, and next Tuesday. So if you have not turned in your ballot yet, do so by Friday if you're going to drop it off, and all that. Okay, I hear the music, and that means we've got to take a break here on KYCA. All of you who have been joining in, I hope you've learned a few things. Much, much more to come after this on the News 1490. Well, the Three Stooges theme song signals that we're halfway through the Mulligan Group, and another round of scintillating conversation is being had by all here. I wish I could show you or have you listen to what happens here between the commercials. Let's just call it blackmail on tape, and we'll continue on here.
I don't have any money to pay you, so
that's okay. We'll talk terms later.
I surrender.
Phil King, Malcolm Barrett Jr., Bob Roecker, Jason Zinzilieta with you, saying hi. Not that I'm really kind of trying to poke the bear here, but I'll just say the word hotel, and we'll just kind of throw it out there in the middle of the thing. As I understand, the council is going to make a decision this coming Tuesday. That's up on the agenda, as I understand. After the Preservation Committee voted, I think, 3-1 to not recommend construction of this for the third time.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever.
the Historic Preservation Commission is comprised of people who don't necessarily honor history. They have their imagination of what history should have been, not what it really is.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of conversations with people about, we want to keep Whiskey Row the way it was. And I asked them, when you were growing up, whatever era that was, what was located in this space where this hotel is going? Not one. Not a single one can answer. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's Sam Hill Hardware and in the St. Michael and in the Palace. And I said, but what was at this location in the middle of the row? Nobody can answer that question.
Radio Shack?
No, it wasn't Radio Shack.
I was down a block.
I know what it was.
AutoZone?
The longest tenant, Western Auto, no, that was down the street.
Okay.
The longest tenant in this location was the American Kitchen from the late 20s till 1962. And the American Kitchen was a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And they had a big neon sign hanging right over the sidewalk that said, Chop Suey.
Yeah.
And then in 1962, the American Kitchen and the Antler Bar both vacated, and it was sitting empty with no tenants.
Yeah.
A new redevelopment company was formed called the Whiskey Row Development Corporation, and it had 4 members.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, it had Barry Klein, the attorney.
Yeah.
It had Chris Allison of Allison Construction, and then it had Matt and Joe Butita. And they had the Whiskey Row Development Corporation, and they bought and renovated and totally reconstruction 3 or 4 of the empty spaces on Whiskey Row because they had lost tenants, and that was the origin of Matt's.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of that was before. And then in this space, there was a real estate office.
Shop?
Holiday Shop was further south.
Yeah, the Holiday Shop was over on Cortez, I think.
And the
it was there on
on Whiskey Row.
Yeah.
originally the building just south of this, it's 2 parcels with 3 tenants under one single roof that goes half the depth of the lot. Next door was a garage. So it's slab on grade, and it was an auto garage. Riefler's garage, I think.
Part of the perceptual problem is that we turn over residents at such a rate now. I think the average is down like 5 years.
Right.
And so people don't realize what was 10 years ago or they don't think what it'll be in 20 years from now.
Right.
20 years from now, people walking down Whiskey Row are going to look at that hotel and think it's part of historic
All
Whiskey
of a
Row.
sudden, it's historic.
The Western Auto that was there,
Yes.
the roof caved in the 67 snow.
As several of them did.
Yeah, so that's not historic in the sense of anything.
Help me out here. Did the Preservation Commission give any suggestions or just say this is not historic and that's not historic? So the answer is no?
It's purely subjective opinion. That's all it is. And they have a set of guidelines. And, if somebody meets all the guidelines, you cannot deny or approve based on pure subjective opinion of a group that thinks their imagination of what history was.
Well, what's the most photographed house on Mount Vernon Street? That big gray Victorian. It's a fake. It was built about 25 years ago.
Well, it's not a fake. It's a replica.
Okay.
What
it's
about
a fake.
What about the top of Park Avenue? Just as
yeah.
you're coming from town, you cross the hill on the right. There's this beautiful Victorian home that was built, I think, in 2003.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah. And
now,
and all the tourists take photographs of that house on Mount Vernon. Has this old historic.
The old Historic Preservation Commission, led by Queen Elizabeth,
yes,
and I say that very fondly, Elizabeth Ruffner,
I know,
has stated that new construction downtown should not emulate what's already there. It should represent the era in which it's constructed.
Yeah.
And we have 3 examples of that.
Okay.
Well, first being what now is the old City Hall. The new City Hall in 1961 looks like a typical flat roof Phoenix bank building.
Yeah.
And they built that in 1961 because they wanted to modernize downtown Prescott. Look at 325. I think it's the old Great Western Savings Bank, Pioneer Bank building.
Western Savings.
Western Savings. Yeah. It's the white 3-story concrete and glass building. And if you look at the
Mulligan building,
what was the new Valley Bank building when they moved from the corner of Cortez and Gurley, 2 blocks down the street, and it's now
I don't know what it is.
Whatever bank it is
Bank of
now.
America, I think, or Chase.
It's Chase. And that was to emulate the modern construction techniques of Phoenix in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Prescott's downtown was dying. So they had to modernize everything.
That bank building is the site of the old Rex Arms.
Rex Arms.
And we don't need to go into that business.
Well, when the debauchery and typical
Prescott
business on Whiskey Row moved, they
Which
went
Prescott
to the
are you
Rex
trying
Arms.
to preserve?
Well, personally, I mean, if you look at honest to goodness historic preservation, didn't the whole thing burn down in 1900? Why didn't we preserve
Started
that?
over.
Well, the wonderful outdoor patio on Whiskey Row burned down in what year?
2000 and
something. Yeah.
Oh, it was. God, I can't remember what year.
About
it was.
15 years ago.
2004, I think.
Yeah.
Was
Well, the
it
birdcage burned down.
Yeah,
That
the
was
old
it.
birdcage.
That was
The
it.
old birdcage.
And now,
I wonder
and
if
the
they know the old birdcage is not where the new birdcage.
It's an empty lot now.
yeah.
But since we got a wide open courthouse plaza, we should burn down the rest of Whiskey Row and leave that.
that was
Open.
historic. That would be historic.
That's historic. Let's emulate the fire of 1900.
All right. Let's not do that. Okay, we've
It's
got
all about what existed the day you moved in.
Right. All right.
That's historic.
We're going to take a quick break here on KYCA. We're a little over time. Sorry, folks. We get carried away. 928-541-1016. Back after this. And we're back here on the KYCA PM show, the panel of all knowledge, the Mulligan Group. Thank you guys for being here, Malcolm, Bob, and Phil, and we appreciate it. And Tom, we miss you. We'll see you next week or next month, I hope. All right. So
wait a minute. I want to bring one thing up.
Okay, go
Some
ahead.
of the criticism in the opposition about the downtown building is proposed building is it could damage the underground tunnels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
I
let
saw
me
that.
tell you, that
Yeah.
rumor was totally attested to by Elizabeth Ruffner. There are no tunnels downtown. There never were tunnels downtown. And it was confirmed by Geraldo. Remember when Geraldo Rivera came to town and did a special series on the underground tunnels in Prescott, Arizona?
No, before my time.
He came through and did a whole special on it, and guess what he found?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
The stuff from Al Capone's vault.
Yeah.
That's
right.
what he found.
And that was Chicago. But
Oh, Chicago.
same thing here. And if you look at some of the downtown businesses, on Gurley they had basements. There's a few on Montezuma, one maybe on Cortez.
There's a couple that were
And the
connected. That's it.
And the reason they had basements is because that's where the boiler was for the furnace for the building and their inventory. And there used to be elevators in the sidewalks. And you can see some of those.
Yep.
And they loaded the raw coal onto the elevators. It went down to the furnace and their inventory.
Right there at Gurley and Cortez, the building right on the corner has the basement, still has the elevator
You can
there.
go into the basement there and go underneath the sidewalk, both in the front and the side, and there's an old mechanical hand-driven elevator with the big flywheel. Now, the doors have been welded shut,
Yeah.
but you can turn the wheel and get it to move just a little bit, but it won't go anywhere. It's a hand-operated elevator.
So the whole point of the conversation being, which Prescott are you trying to preserve?
That's a
Yes.
good question. And again,
It's an organic community. It changes over time, and it generally changes for the better.
For the better.
correct. The one thing that I think was mentioned to me by someone who's been here for a long time as well was they remember talking to Dayton Rutkowski. And of course, Dayton was here for a long, long time. And he said...
He's still here.
And he's still here.
He's
and
not a was.
No,
He's
no, I'm
Saw
sorry.
him at Rolly's
Yes.
funeral.
Yep. And Dayton one time said to them, and if I remember right, he kind of alluded it to me. He said, if people are not careful, we're going to be back to the Prescott that we were in the 70s when you could go down to Cortez Street and from Gurley and look down Cortez Street and see nothing but boarded up windows.
Yes.
And that was downtown Prescott in the 60s.
Yep.
That's why they were desperate for modernization.
Yep. And
That was the origin of the ski slopes. The ski
Oh,
slope
yes.
awnings.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
and
See,
cladding the buildings with aluminum to make them
Yeah.
look modern.
Yeah,
Right.
and that was taken off, and people don't realize it because they've come since.
Yes.
Well, remember the
So-
purple awnings on
Oh, remember the Pink St.
The-
Michael's
the
Hotel?
Pink St.
What they-
Michael.
I'm sorry, it was pink. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought.
The
yes.
Hotel St. Michael was pink,
Pink.
or
Yeah.
a shade of pink.
And okay.
Because the owner at the time was really upset with the city because they wouldn't allow her to do some kind of external modification, but they couldn't control the color of the paint.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. What about and maybe one of you can answer this? The church over on Cortez and Union, that corner. That was. I think Mr. Blair was talking about that and said that was a theater at one point.
The studio theater.
Studio
Thank you.
theater.
And prior to
yes.
that, it was Goldwater Mercantile.
Yes.
And then after Goldwater, it was another men's clothing store,
Yeah.
and then it became the Studio Theater.
Mhm.
That's where the R-rated movies were.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
Easy Rider.
I see.
snuck into Easy Rider as a 16-year-old.
You would have.
Yes. And the Elks Theater is where Chitty Chitty Bang Bang played.
Oh, Flash.
And Mary Poppins.
Flash Gordon, 1980. Wild in the Streets. Max Frost for president back in 67, maybe.
Well, the first time
Was it the Elks?
I
first
saw
time
the
I
movie None But the Brave
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Elks Theater in 1965. That was a life-changing moment for
the
me.
first time I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark was in the Elks Theater.
Ah,
There you go. And why are we not preserving all of that as movie theaters and buildings and things? Because we modernize when the time comes.
Well, luckily, some benefactors stepped in and totally renovated the Elks Theater for
yes.
the
absolutely
purpose
true.
it's using now, but they're not
Absolutely.
running front-run movies like
Movies,
they
no.
used to.
And what about
Claude, who
what
was the
about
guy that owned him?
revenue
Claude Klein.
that the revenue that the city is desperate for.
Yeah.
And what might a hotel like that produce?
Phil, all you
I
have
have
to do
that
is raise
number.
taxes. You just relax. Just relax.
$2.7 million a year
Is what the hotel would
in
generate.
city net revenues.
Yeah, and that's
2.7 million
what
a
about
year.
What about the one at the mall? A much bigger hotel would have produced millions of dollars, and they don't like that.
I don't know. And
I
you know
don't
what?
understand
And you know
the
where they build?
short-sightedness. I just don't.
Look at where all the hotels have been built in the last 20 years. Prescott Valley, Prescott Valley.
Yep.
And it's nothing for people to say, well, I'm going to Prescott and I'm staying in Prescott Valley.
Yeah.
You know, it's a 15-minute drive.
Prescott depends on where the check is spent.
Correct.
Yes.
And if it's not spent in town and it's spent in another town and you have to live in the other town because you can't afford to live here, it's a self-perpetuating spiral, and it takes you downhill.
Okay, we're going to have to take our final break. Sorry about that. And I'll get back to Nita's comment in just a moment.
Oh,
Nita. Nita for Nara, we appreciate you calling in. We'll get to her comment in just a moment here on KYCA. Back after this. If only you could hear what goes on in the background here at KYCA. It's a good thing that you don't. Okay, very quickly, I wanted to address what Nita Fornara called. And Nita, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it. According to Nita, the Studio Theater was across the street from Goldwater's. She remembers when tickets were 11 cents.
And by the way, that Goldwater was a dress shop. Everybody bought their dresses at Goldwater's Dress when they closed the Mercantile. But Nita also knows about the American Kitchen. And I would, Nita, if you could call back, I know you know the brothers and the names who ran the kitchen. And I guess your mother worked there when you were in school as a child.
That was a little while ago, wasn't it?
A little bit.
My wife remembers buying a dress at the Goldwater store.
My grandmother, that's where you shop for clothes.
Wow. Okay. And you see, folks, those of you, let me tell you, I've been here since 1986. We got here in October of 1986. 26,000 people in Prescott, about 6,000 in Prescott Valley. Chino was, you just drive through, and Paulden had 6 houses.
Right.
And it was a nice place. It was, and there's a lot
they
of
had Holiday Lakes. They had a lot more.
That's right. Yes,
Ned Warren.
They did. You're right. They had Holiday Lakes. Okay, we'll get past that one. Very quickly, I'll tell you what. Do we want to? We had a call back from Nita.
Okay.
Toy and Smiley.
Toy and Smiley.
That's what she said. Okay.
But what was the last name? One was the nice one who was the front office or the front of the restaurant. The other was the cook who was not so nice.
I'm thinking Smiley was the cook, but anyway, but we don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We have Toy was in the front and Smiley was in the back. Yep. Okay.
There we go, brothers.
Okay. Thank you, Nita. Thank you so much.
Perfect example of the short-sightedness of today. talk to people like Nida who have been here, who've watched the city evolve over the years, over the decades. You and I
That
were
is history.
relative
Yes.
newcomers. It's been
Yes.
45 years.
Yes, exactly.
It's been 45 years for me, so
Yes.
it's longer.
Yeah, it's the
I'm a
same.
babe in the woods. I've barely been here just 38 years.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's not long.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah.
to the lack of foresight with some of these issues, the water panic, the explosive growth, the don't build roads because somebody might build a house.
Yeah.
It's all very short-sighted.
See what Tanya
Do we
has
want to take
say.
a quick call? Let's
Yeah.
put our headphones on here real quick. And Nida, thank you very much. Nida put through in one last comment. She worked at Goldwater's.
Okay.
All right,
wow.
Nida.
Wow.
Very good. Thank you, Nida.
glad
Thank
you
you
brought that
so
up.
much.
That's cool.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's go ahead and go to line 1. And Tanya, you're on the air.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I heard you earlier. You were a little iffy on the name of the bar that was before Matt's.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Yes.
Jay's.
It was Jay's.
Jace,
Yes, and Matt bought it from Jay's.
right?
And also, I don't want to correct your previous caller, but Goldwater's, the studio theater, was one business in.
Oh, okay.
Goldwater's was right on the corner of Union and Cortez.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the Goldwater's dress shop was, but prior to that, the Goldwater's Mercantile was where the studio theater is.
That's right.
And when
Oh, okay.
Goldwater,
So I've been here since 1963, and I was not aware of
Yeah,
that.
you
Right.
remember
I did-
when it was on the other corner where the restoration was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that particular situation.
right,
But then Goldwater's dress shop
right,
was on the corner.
correct.
Right.
Ah,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Just wanted to comment.
And
Oh,
do you remember when they modernized that corner and put the ski slopes on and covered the Goldwater sign?
Yes.
And then, yes, and then I think in 2010 or 11, Fred Lindquist was managing the properties for Annette Williams,
Right.
and they decided to take the ski slopes off, and they
Uh-huh.
saw the outline of the old Goldwater's neon sign,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and
exactly.
they
That's the original
decided
sign. That's the
to,
sign.
and they restored the sign. They had it custom made and replaced the
Mm-hmm.
neon, and there it is now. It's
Yeah.
not Goldwater's, but they restored the sign.
It's
And,
great.
and you know, you and she were very correct. Every woman in town shopped at Goldwater's.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Dress shop.
Yeah, my wife, like I said, remembers buying a dress there.
Mm.
Oh yeah. No, that was the place to shop.
Yep.
Right?
But anyway, I just wanted to throw those in. But Jay's was before Matt's,
Jay's.
and
okay.
then Matt bought it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
All right.
Whiskey
Thanks,
Road
Tanya.
Development Corporation bought it,
Yes.
and then Matt bought it from them after
Okay.
they
Extra,
restored it.
yes, that's true. That's true. You're correcting me, and you are totally correct.
But thank you for the reminder of Jay's. I
Yes.
could
Very-
not. I didn't know that.
Very much.
Yes.
And Tanya, so happy that you were able to spend so many years here. I'm sure you are too.
Yes, a lifetime almost.
Mm.
Very
Really?
much. Well, that's wonderful. And thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome. Okay. Bye bye. Talk
Take
to you
care.
later.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank
and again, thank you to Nida for calling in.
Wonderful lady.
Always.
Love
it.
Always welcome. And so very quickly, we're down to just a couple of minutes. I guess the big thing is two questions before we get to predictions, and I know we don't have very much time here. Will the hotel pass the city council, and should it pass the city council? Should, I think, is a unanimous
Should is
yes.
absolute, but I think they're going to punt.
I do too.
There's yes.
What
There's
does that mean? Punt?
there's a way around it. There's a couple of different wrinkles you can use. We don't have time to explain it, but a couple of abstentions would be pro votes, and if they take no action, it would be considered approved.
Okay.
For example, the motion dies for a lack
Lack
of a
of
second,
second, and
Oh.
it goes away, but is
or if there are
assumed to
abstentions.
be
Well,
approved.
Approved. Okay.
I
so
would
they-
call that gutless if that happens.
Yeah,
you
that's-
got it.
Yes, gutless is the word. They don't want to be blamed.
Well, it's
And it should pass. They should be grateful for the economic development in the city.
Exactly.
They should be pursuing that. Who's going to pay
And
the
grateful
bills
for the
if they keep-
restoration of
a dilapidated building.
dilapidated, non-functional structure.
Yes.
There you go. Very quickly around the room, we've got about a minute. Predictions, Bob.
I predict, I'm going to speak just for a second here on water. I predict that this council or the next one will appoint a water commissioner to address the water issues. And if you do that, this council or the next council, you are circumventing, or what's the right word, your responsibility to the citizens of our community. Do not fall for that. Don't do it, please.
Gutless again.
There we go. Malcolm, prediction. Can be anything.
Oh boy, I predict that at the end of August, Texas will beat Ohio State.
That's called punting. Okay.
Punting. Yes, I punted.
Phil.
Grand Canyon has now gone into the Mountain West. They won't be the champions like they were of the WAC always, but they're going to put on a great show this year.
All right. Election Day, 1 week from today. Bye-bye.